Back on February 20th, we had reading day, and about 126 of you guys participated. You all committed that day to something you were going to be changing. Some of us have forgotten that, some of us have remembered that. Well, since then, we've had a core group of kids that wanted to do more, didn't want reading day to end. I remember a lot of you feeling like that. So we started to meet, and then we got together and we decided, let's develop a positive behavior intervention team. And I would like all the kids that participated, I think there were about 20 of you, this is representing some of them, but all of the kids that participated in the positive behavior group, please raise your hand. These people next to you, keep your hands up, were responsible for this rollout of what it truly means to be a Spartan. Because Spartans doesn't just mean orange, black, and white anymore. We want it to mean something. So we're rolling it out today. We're rolling it out today to you because we want our culture to change. Because who creates our culture? Y'all do. So who can change our culture? Y'all can. But with a little bit of support. So, I'm going to ask that you give these students who are very nervous your attention. So, Spartans is going to mean more than just orange, black, and white. Molly is our S.
Our group chose the first S to stand for support. I related it back to softball. It takes 9 players to have each other's backs 100% to win a game. It takes 2 hours a day, 5 days a week, working together and growing together as a team to accomplish the goal they want to achieve. It only takes one person to change someone's day positively or negatively. And it takes 30 seconds to a minute to post something or tweet something that can completely tear someone down. I never let the fear of striking out keep me from playing the game. And this group didn't let me chicken out from talking in front of everyone despite how nervous I was. I promise to be supportive.
Okay, my word is positivity, and there's a quote that I wanted to start up with, and the quote is, a bad attitude is like a flat tire, you can't go anywhere until it's fixed. Whenever you have a bad attitude, you affect the people around you, and the attitude to have is positive. Though there's some situations in your life that are going to be negative, they're going to be hard to get through, and you're going to have a really hard time finding the positive in it. For example, if you lose somebody you really love, somebody that means a lot to you, there's no negative in that, but if you look at it, it might teach you a lesson, it might help you understand that the people that are still here with you, you need to tell them how much you love them and how much they mean to you every day. You can learn something out of anything. Things aren't always going to seem positive, but I know personally, whenever I say something negative, or when I say something that just isn't very positive, Michelle will look at me and she'll say, Autumn, come on, what's something positive about that? It's not just something you do one time and you think, oh my goodness, okay, I was positive today. You have to change your life, you have to change the way you look at things. But if you look at it with a positive aspect, you're going to make the people around you happier, and you're going to go do stuff better. There's no sense of wasting your time with a bad attitude when you can just start off in a positive way. I'm sorry. I promise to be as positive as I can be with all of you, and if you ever catch me being negative, just please let me know, because
Alright, I was A, and that stands for accountability. And accountability means, personally, it can mean that you hold yourself accountable for what you say and do. And if you say that you're going to go to one of the sporting events, then you need to hold yourself accountable and go and support the teams. Because, especially the girls softball team, I know they are upset when people don't come, but I've been trying to hold myself accountable and going to their games because I know they love having people there to support them. And we can hold our friends accountable when we see them do something like bully or something that we don't think is right. We can gently hold them accountable and tell them what they do we don't think is right, and encourage them to fix it by doing something positive or apologizing to the person. And in our redo day group, we hold each other accountable by making sure that we follow through with what Spartans mean and that we encourage each other to be positive. And as most people know, those bad Twitter accounts that everybody has seen, I went to Miss Joe and was very upset about those because I didn't like what they were saying to people. So I did positive tweets, which hopefully people saw, and I've been trying to continue with that. So I get to hold myself accountable for my positive behavior, and it makes me feel great, and I'm very proud of what I've done. And so I encourage you guys to do positive things and then hold yourself accountable for the good things you've done. And I promise to gently hold you guys accountable for what you do, and I hope you hold me accountable for what I'm doing.
All right, my letter was R and it stood for respect. And one thing about respect that I think everybody's learned in their days is treat others the way you want to be treated. That's so true around Waynesville and around everywhere, really. You treat others the way you want to be treated in the classrooms, in the hallways. And one other thing I wanted to make sure I pointed out, and also in sports, you respect others in sports. We had a state of baseball this year called the Quiet Conference that Coach Bailey preaches about all the time. And it's really respect the others, good game, post-game handshake. You don't have to talk trash to people. You don't have to rub it in on Twitter if you beat them or on Facebook or your social media. So really, you take respect everywhere you go, whether it's in school, out of school, at home, or on the sporting field. So this group respected me to come forward and speak today, and I promise to respect you guys.
Mine is kind of in relation to Molly's. You know, our relate to cheer. When you put someone in the stud, you can't do it by yourself. You have to have all four. And if you only have one, it's not going to be very successful, I promise. So, in relation to school, you know, we can work together to get rid of bullying, and not only one person can do it. You're all sitting here, you're all hearing this, and you know the bullying happens. So I promise, as long as you promise along with me, that I will work with you as long as you work with me to get rid of bullying.
All right, my word is acceptance, acceptance. And I'm a little new here. This is my first year at Waynesville. My first year at Waynesville, my first week at Waynesville scared me to death. I remember sitting back at the desk when attendance is called, about the only word I said the entire time was my name. So it was pretty scary. But you all accepted me, and I kind of came out now, and you guys kind of realized how weird I am, and now I won't shut up. So I know my lunch table knows that. I'll start telling stories, and they'll start laughing at me. It's like, maybe if you just start laughing at me, be quiet. So, but you guys accepted me. I had Cameron come up here and hold a sign for me because he accepted me for who I am. And acceptance, what I'm trying to get at is acceptance is not just like saying to the kid who sits in the corner and no one talks to, hey, you want to come with me, play basketball or something. Acceptance is, okay, dude, you like to wear socks up to your knees. That's cool, bro. I like to wear them down my ankles. But you do you, I'll do me. So acceptance is accepting people for their differences and agreeing with them and just helping them become more independent and realizing what's important to them. So I promise that I will always accept you, and I hope that Waynesville just gets to deal with becoming Spartan as me. So.
Well, it's going to be tough to call that one up, but I'll try. My letter was N, and I had no exclusions. We want this to mean so much more than just asking somebody to come sit with you at lunch if you don't have anybody to sit, or if they don't have anybody to sit with them. We want this to mean that, like, you try and bring them in, and you try to understand them as much as possible. You have no idea what other people have been through. You don't know what their iceberg is. But if you don't exclude them, you can learn what it is. And in 8th grade, I walked into a Latin class, and I had no idea who anybody was. I didn't really have any close friends. But there was this one person who, throughout the course of the year, I would learn would become my life's best friend. And because I didn't try to exclude her, and because I truly showed who I really was to her, we're probably going to be friends for the rest of our lives. So I promise not to exclude you, and I hope you don't turn around and exclude anybody.
My letter is S, and my S stands for standing up. My freshman year, I walked in not knowing much of anyone in this high school besides people in my grade. There is a person who doesn't go to Waynesville anymore, and my freshman year, I'm sitting with one senior that I knew, and she introduces me to another senior. And they're sitting there just talking, and they're saying horrible things about this person. And I told them, you don't talk like that, that's disrespectful, and I know that person, you will treat them with respect. Talk to me about them, you will talk to me with respect about that person. And I was a freshman who stood up to seniors. It shouldn't matter what grade you're in, you're a person and you have feelings. If you were getting torn down, you would want someone to stand up for you, wouldn't you? I know I would. And I found a quote that I think is incredible and inspiring. And it said, stand up for what you believe in, even if that means you have to stand alone. But I promise you that you will not have to stand alone, because I will be standing up with you.
So, what this means is that you have a choice to make a difference in somebody's life as much as you do to hurt somebody. I want to tell you a quick story, then it leads right into Keenan. It's a story about the starfish, my starfish story. So, once upon a time, there's this boy, and he's walking down the beach. And he walks down the beach every day, and one day he was walking down the beach after a huge storm, and there was seaweed and starfish and seashells all over the shore for miles. So he's walking down the shore, picking up starfish, and he's throwing them back in the water. He's just doing that, and this old man comes up to him and says, "What are you doing? You are never going to make a difference. Look down that shore. There's a mile of them." And the kid's sitting there, and he's thinking about what the guy just said, and he steps down, and picks up another starfish, and looks at it, kind of looks at the man, looks back at the starfish, and he tossed it in the water gently, and he looked at the old man, and he said, "It made a difference to that one. It made a difference to that one." Now, the point is that you can make a difference. And I also add one other person in the story that really isn't in the story, but it's a third person that walks down this beach, a grumpy old mean person. And they come on up between these two people, and they stomp on a starfish. They kill it. In life, you have three choices, and all the decisions you make every day. You can be a starfish saver. You can do nothing at all, which sometimes that is being kind. Or you can hurt a starfish. So you can help, you can hurt, or you can do nothing. I'm asking you to choose to be kind. So I'm asking you to find the courage to be kind. And Keenan is here today to show us some tools on how to find that courage to be kind.